All right, it's definitely nailed that moving to the upside. There was a bit of a drop right there. There was a sharp drop in the pre-market before more movement to the upside. We come to the upper end of a range, it looks like. No, not the upper end of a range, but we're probably creating a new upper end to the range. And you can see how the abundance card is the theme card for the 22nd. The abundance card is often associated with new high. Not always the case, but it usually represents more than just a move higher through resistance and and like a move back down through that same price level, creating a peak. It's usually that, but also like a new high or a new local high or a new all-time high. Really depends on the placement of the card. And we had a high first thing in the morning that was a cross-reading congruency. There was a trade opportunity in there at a low around 1 o'clock. Came out to be like 1:30. Then there's this prominent move higher through resistance, full retracement of that move back down. That's the love card, followed by this sideways rotation along key support. Towards the close, that sideways rotation, we should see a sharp drop within that period of sideways rotation. And then there's a low at the end of the day. But this is a good example. So here we've got a cross-reading congruency. The January high card on the 1 month appears here. It doesn't, the cross-reading congruency does not always appear in the exact place of time, like point in time, but it'll often appear in the same reading. So like this is a high for the month. This is a high for the abundance card is a high for the month. It appeared here at the high in the morning, but this cross-reading congruency appeared within the reading. Usually that's the way it works. Sometimes it's on point timing, but that I don't rely on that with cross-reading congruencies. But in the period of sideways rotation here, there should be a sharp drop that'll stand out. Hmm. I am seeing a possibility of another high here at the end of the day, guys. Um, it's kind of there's a possibility of it. It's hard to say if it'll happen, but we do have this correlation here towards the end of the day. I think it's probably a fake out. Whether or not we go to the ups, like we move higher here into another high, there should be a pretty sharp drop, like right around the close, either way, to a prominent trough or low. I don't think it'll be as low as the 130 low, but there'll be a trough in there. Hey, Robert. I'm doing well. How are you, my man? We likely see a high again tomorrow. See, there's that abundance card again, kind of hiding. Should be a sharp drop off of that. Matter of fact, it might be higher high. Reason being is we've got this nullified full card and then the abundance card tomorrow. It'll either be the same high or a higher high that we see, and then the Princess of Swords probably see the high more than once, but it'll be an important high, important resistance level. Yeah, I hear you, Robert. Hey, Hamza. I was just opening up Bitcoin. Hmm. No, no, I think this is pretty notable low here. This is where I had a lowest low. What in the heck? No, so there's a peak. It looks like there's probably a brief peak tomorrow that's easily missed, followed by a decline through support. So like we probably come back to a similar price level as the highs from today, and then the following day, there's a breakout of some kind on like a multi-day scale. So on the following day, we probably break through this resistance here around the excuse me, around the 41.7 range, 41,700 range. And then there's a lot of price change between the 24th and the 27th. A lot of price change to the upside there. Very, very likely we see another high there. We might revisit these lows tomorrow. It's possible. But more likely we'll see like the higher end of the price range of today and then a decline from it. All right, yeah. So this is probably where we see this notable turnaround here to the downside. I would say the high is off the table. That the possibility the high is off the table at this point. You're welcome, Hamza. So I want to take a look at algo. I was at the doctor's, not the doctor's, the dermatologist. I guess it's a doctor. I was at the dermatologist's office earlier today, and I had an impression come to me of algo. So I would like to take a look and see what's going on there. Yeah, okay. So see, we're going into lows. We had a low in like the second week roughly, right? We had a lowest low thus far in the second week of January, and then it looks like on the cusp of January, February, there's another lowest low. And then you can see how that's actually playing out pretty well. Interesting. What's interesting, what I don't see playing out really well, it sort of is, but not as expected, is this abundance card. I mean, we've still got several days left, but I would have expected like a more of a high to form before this drop into the low. But hey, that's how it goes sometimes. In either case, we should likely see a lower price level than where we are now, and a higher price level than where we are now. By mid March, we should have seen a significantly higher price level and a slightly lower price level, probably. Oh. We'll have to see how it plays out a little bit here. It's kind of in like unclear territory. Hey Joe. Hey, it was luck. Hey Round Earth. Will Apple have higher price levels tomorrow? Looks like I don't have it the high marked off there, but this should be a failed attempt. Like this is a failed attempt to break the resistance, decline through key support, then another move to the upside tomorrow, followed by a full retracement of that move. I think we've probably seen the highs. There's a possibility that we see a similar high or slightly higher high on the 25th, but it's a lot more likely that we're going to see a low there. We should have a pretty sharp drop on the 24th in the midst of that volatility. Should be a pretty sharp drop there. So will it have higher price levels tomorrow? It's unlikely. It's possible that we go to the same highs, but I think we'll probably be lower. We probably open lower and there's a move higher followed by a full retracement. AAV, does SPY open up or down tomorrow? I believe it opens up. It's my sense. It's possible that we have a higher high tomorrow. We're gonna see in the morning part session. We should see the same price level here. Let me mark that off. The heck? So likely it opens up. In either case, we probably see the same highs or higher high tomorrow in the morning session. Will Nvidia see 660 this week or next week? really off on those lows. Wow. We did have a sharp drop on the 17th, but it was a fake out. I'm going to mark that off as a unicursal. Right, so we continued to go higher there, indicating that this price level right here, this is an important price level that will break down through in the next major correction. So probably the decline that we see around February, March, most likely starting in February or maybe at the end of February into March. But either way, this is probably one of the price levels we break down through. So do we see 660 this week? Yeah, there's a very strong possibility of 660 actually. And looking at it, it looks like if we do hit 660, it's going to be somewhere around the 25th or the 29th, 25th or the 29th, probably the 25th, 29th, 30th, maybe, probably the 25th though. Yeah, this was probably the low. We might see it again tomorrow, but then it goes pretty bullish, and we probably see highs or close to highs or some sort of prominent high here on the 26th, 27th, probably a high for the month. There's one location where there's a high probability of a lowest low, and that's like right after the high there at the end of the day on the 28th or maybe the 29th. It's a possibility. You're welcome, AV. And then is TLT more bullish or bearish? really need a better color for that. So is it more bullish or bearish? It looks like we probably go bullish. It's hard to say because what we've got here is this big move to the upside in the later part of January. It's very likely out of severely oversold territory. A lot of the time, you see the adjustment card like out of like a significant decline into oversold territory. There's this big move to the upside. I think we probably see higher price levels in February, mid-month. And if we continue to go lower into the end of January, then that big move to the upside would probably start in early February. And it'll be a notable move higher on a one-year chart, but it's going to have a full retracement back down. So I'd be very mindful of that. Do I see theta go below 90 cents? These charts are so funky to me. All right, 90s. Do we go below 90 cents? I think my sense is that we probably do, but let me just see here. Yeah, we go below 90 cents in January 2024. I would be looking for opportunity near lows to open up a long position in theta because we have a really big move to the upside in early February. This move will stand out. It'll take us to a highest high for the year, at least thus far, but it could be a highest high period. We're going to push the upper end of a range on a one-year chart scale higher in early February. What in the heck? Where did my SPY monthly go? That's so weird. So guys, if you've got early access, then you probably already know that all of SPY's daily readings are for March are already completed and posted on our website for people with early access. You get early access on our website, Tarot for Traders. Go to our services, SO Meta Posts. Early access to our posts. Click here to subscribe. $29 a month, $249 for the year. Great way to support the channel. If you utilize this S&P 500, this SPY stuff regularly, it's really the right thing to do. Let's see what else we got as far as questions. Hey, living on a prayer. I'll come back to Bitcoin in just a little bit. Living on a prayer. I got to get everybody with the stars. Ethereum. How does Ethereum sound anything like Siri? Before I get into that, guys, I just want to run through SPY. We only have a few minutes left here. All right, so about 4 minutes left. We've got this sideways rotation, a drop revisiting support that we recently met before. So that's what we're doing right here. There should be a move to the upside over. We probably see lower price levels here in the post market, but there should be a move to the upside in the post market and overnight. And we're very, very likely going to see the same price level here. Could also mark this off as a science price level as well. We probably see the same high. I don't see a higher. I don't think there's a higher price level. Why? Because we've got the full card here in the high position. We've got the science card correlating to the high card, right? Indicating an important price level met. Okay, we might. So it's nullified. So it might be that we see it again. But the fact that tomorrow's high is the Princess of Swords, there's a really strong probability it's the same high. It could be higher because of the abundance card, but I think it's probably the same high as what we've seen. And we very likely see it in the morning. There's probably a drop here in the last last 2 minutes. There's some sort of devil card correlation over there. But when we get to the same high here in the morning, you might consider opening up a short position for a day trade and closing that short position either around like 2 to 3 or maybe at the close. But if not at 2 to 3, then very, very likely the following day. Or maybe even Monday on the 25th. All right, so Ethereum. I'm going to cap off the questions here, guys. Yeah, so there's a lowest low in Ethereum here. Doesn't look like it ended up being a lowest low, although we might see more decline tomorrow. It's the same thing going on where we have a lowest low correlation to the 22nd, but then the 23rd has a bearish day as well. It's the same thing going on as what we have in Bitcoin. Where did Bitcoin go? Right, we've got this lowest low on the 22nd, but more decline on the 23rd. So we probably see. So there's a strong possibility that we see a lower price level on the 26th. And then do we revisit a high at the end of the month, 2700? It doesn't appear that we do. Not I don't think we do in January, but I thought I opened up a. I did. All right, there's some possibility that we visit 2700 like around the cusp of January, February. Let me see. Looks like we do. We revisit it maybe by the cusp of January, February, it looks like. Hey, Proof. I'll come back and well, Solana, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that in just a moment. Coin. Not a great start to the year. So there's a lowest low for the year, at least thus far, but very, very likely a lowest low for the year period. I mean, we very likely revisit it several times, but it's a lowest low, at least thus far, like right at the end of January. And then there's like this unexpected move to the upside. We break through a key resistance level and stay above it briefly before breaking back down through the same price level shortly thereafter, in the earlier part of January. But around the cusp of February, March, we have a highest high for the year. So you could open up like a partial long here, I would say. And then if we go lower into the cusp, I would add to that long. And then I would look to close out of that by the end of March. All right, so Hamza, do you see? Oh, we did that. Living on a prayer. Will Bitcoin go higher as or as high in 20? Will it go as high or higher in 2026, 2025, as in 2025? No, I think we see like I think we see like at least 100K in Bitcoin by 2027. How's Solana till the end of the month? So we probably this right here looks like the disappointment card. We've had like this falsely established support, this failed attempt to break resistance, falsely established support. It would look like we're gonna break through, but instead we decline through that falsely established support. So that's a disappointment card in action taking place now. I would say here's a good place to open up a partial long. And then if we go lower into the end of the month, I would say add to that long. There's a rally somewhere here around probably the low for the month of February is right on the cusp of January, February. And there's a pretty significant rally that takes us into we push like the upper end of a range higher, at least on a 1 year chart scale. So we should at least see above this 110 price level, probably up here somewhere, 120 in February. Hope that helps, Proof. Will Bitcoin make it to 60K in March? Oh, before I forget, guys, so we're going to start doing this thing where I'm going to have a coupon code every week that I give away on the live. I might give it away on like a different day every week. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the same day every week. But point is that I'm going to give out a coupon code on the live, and anybody that's got the coupon code from the live can utilize that within like a week. It'll expire by the end of the week. So currently, and I wanted to do something special. So right now it's not actually a coupon code. What you need to do is just email me through the website and say, hey, could I get a link to that discount that you were talking about on the live? We've got a buy one, get a second. You basically get 2 1-year reports for $350 rather than $500. So you're getting $150 off of reports. And the reason why we're throwing this out today, definitely a little bit behind on some of the bills we need to pay as far as operating expenses. So we need like 3 people to do that deal. 3 people to do that deal. So you're getting 2 1-year readings, 2024, 2025, 2026. Any crypto or ticker symbol you want, you get 2 of them for $350. Just email me on the website if you're interested in that deal. Hopefully there's 3 people interested in doing that, because we could definitely use the support right now. Kind of stressing a little bit. You didn't understand the Tesla? Let me see. Are you talking about the January forecast, Davey? I didn't see you down there. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so we had a prominent peak and a lowest low today. I think we might have made the lowest low today. It's possible, but there's a good shot that we see it tomorrow. We might see a lower price level tomorrow. And then I think that this highest high right here is probably off the table, but if we go lower tomorrow, there's a good chance we go down to these price levels here, because because it's the hermit card revisiting a support level that was a past opportunity, right? So we're like all the way here. But in either case, it's either the lowest low is today or tomorrow. And then it's really interesting. There's probably a lot of price change here because it does look like we've got a high here towards the end of the month. There's either a significant peak or crest here on the 24th, 25th, or maybe even a high, or we see a high in the last 3 days there. This would be a good place to open up a partial long position. I'm glad people like the t-shirts. You're welcome, Proof. Oh, awesome, Robert. Appreciate the support, my man, as always. So we'll just need 2 more people like Robert that are gonna follow, like go ahead and swipe up that coupon code, 2 1-year reports for $350, which is $150 off of the second report. And the science level was 375 back in 2022. I'm gonna take a look at that. That definitely looks like a pretty important price level. But that's the thing about the science card. It could be a top, it could be a bottom. It's just whatever it is. It's a really critical technical price level on a scale of a reading larger than whatever the reading is time frame that it appears in. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then also, guys, just a reminder, if you're one of those people that follows the rule of karma regularly, there's a private Discord channel just for you. So if you haven't gotten the link to that, let me know. I am on that Discord now. It's not exactly the place to ask questions. Like if it requires me to do like investigating or looking into cards and whatnot, that's something that you should wait for live. That's more so for community purposes and stuff like that for the most part. But with that said, guys, I'm going to roll. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You do so here on the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, where the whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. We do that by following through here. 5% of all profits should be donated forward to a charity here at one of these links, or you could pick one of your own. Whatever you do, just make sure you follow through and pay it forward 5%, and then 5% of the profit should be donated back to the channel here at one of these links, leaving you at 90%. If you're international, you could use Wise. You could also use YouTube tips, and it leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that 90% out of love. As long as you follow those rules, my friends, the universe considers you an angel investor of the channel for following through on the rule of karma. It's going to set it back to you tenfold for following through. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.